This is a quick video on the Joseph Marples marking gauges. So we've got three in front of us. We've got the combination mortise and single pin on this one. We've got the knife gauge on this one. And we've got the simple single pin on this one. So I'll go through them and discuss the certain aspects of them. So we'll talk about the mortise gauge first. So they're made out of rosewood. See a nice bit of grain there. Got Joseph Marples logo, and it's made in Sheffield in England. All the metal bits on this, except from the pins and that screw, are made out of brass. So we've got a brass locking screw which tightens this up or loosens it. And we have the adjustment for the pins with this knob of a description, if you want to call it that. So it's basics of how it moves. So we've got two pins and a single pin on that side, so you can use this as just a normal marking gauge like this one. So you don't need to necessarily buy the standalone one, but then you can't exactly use both features at once because the distance of the shoulder or the space, the offset might not be the same for both of them. So that's basically it for that. The actual shape of the side fence, if you want to call it that, is basically a square with rounded edges on it. These also have brass inlays. I guess it helps with wearing things like that. So yeah, this isn't as comfortable in the hands, but I don't think it particularly matters when I'll show you the other ones and you can see the shape of the side fence on that. So the single pin marking gauge and the knife gauge are basically the same, they just have different ways of cutting. So these are made out of rosewood as well, same branding, Joseph Marples, Sheffield, England. And the wedge for the knife is made out of brass, which you'll need a hammer or something to pry this out. Either you can hit this wee kind of shoulder, or what I tend to do is get another chunk of wood and knock it out that way. It is quite thin, the blade. I did struggle to sharpen it, but I did sharpen it. It's a diamond shape, but I've sharpened one side more than the other, which I don't really think it particularly matters very much, because you're probably going to be using the point rather than the sides, but you can use both. But I do know it's sharp because I have accidentally cut myself on it. So we do know that it is sharp enough to cut a human. So it should be sharp enough to score a line in a piece of timber. And this is probably best for doing cross grain. You might get away with cutting veneers with it, but it's probably going to be a bit of bother. This I'll talk about the handle shape first, or the side fence. So it's shaped like that, so it fits in your hand quite well. I guess it would probably fit well in a left hand as well, but I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed. So that's the way you would hold it. It's a lot more ergonomic, it's a lot more easier to hold. So it's just got one simple pin. This is probably the standard, the bog standard one that most people, if they've ever used a marking gauge, will use this. So I've used marking gauges like this since I was in high school, so since I was about 12, so I'm quite familiar with them. So this just has a brass locking screw, just like everything else does. It's basically the same design of the knife gauge. It's just got a pin instead. I can't really say very much else about them, so I'll show you how they work, or I'll try. So I've got two offcuts of poplar. These pin gauges I wouldn't say are exactly great for oak, things with wide open grain. They're going to follow the grain rather than make the line that you want. This is going to be a bit awkward for me because I'm leaning over the camera, but I'll try my best. So maybe I'll show you the knife gauge first. So we'll just set it like that, and I'll just stick that underneath that just to make it a bit easier so I can show. So I'll make it even smaller because I don't really want to waste this, even though I could just get a bigger bit of timber. Hopefully you can hear that. So that's the line that it's left. It's basically like a Veritas marking gauge, which I do have as well. So that leaves a line that you can, you could chisel to, or you could, use a board and shoot the side of it to make it square. So that's how that works. I probably wouldn't go along the grain with one of these because it probably will follow, or maybe not, but I would just use that for going across the grain. Now this is a lot better for this type of work. So you can see the line there, and you can see a line that I done earlier there. I would say they're parallel to each other, so it will do the job. I guess I'll show the mortise gauge as well, just to show that as well. It's easy enough to set up, no amount of hassle at all. So the good thing about all marking gauges really is they're all push or pull, but because this is such a small piece of timber, it makes it hard to hold on to. This is tulip wood or poplar, so it's relatively soft and easy to mark, and you can see the lines are very visible, so you shouldn't have any worries about them. Thanks for watching.